By the time some of your clients get to you, they've been running on empty and traveling down their difficult roads without a map. Sometimes burdened with a hopelessness caused by years of misfortune, they may come to you lacking motivation, brimming with anger, or feeling extremely distraught. Moving your clients beyond these roadblocks requires the use of all of your interview techniques and advanced skills. As you conduct interviews, you'll meet all types of personalities. Some clients will be naturally talkative and eager to find solutions to their needs. On the other hand, you'll no doubt meet your share of apathetic, downtrodden, or resistant clients who are only in your office because you've asked them to come in. In the following scene, our case manager, Janetta, discusses responsibility and dependability with her client, Troy West.
Mr. West, thanks for coming in. Like I said on the phone, the purpose of our meeting today is to go over how your work experience is going. As you know, we're required by the state for you to fulfill a work requirement in order to continue receiving your benefits. You've been working for the Parks Department for 5 weeks now, but your boss, Mr. Beaumont, says you've not been getting to work on time and that you missed 3 days of work last week without an excuse.
Oh, he's full of it. I told him I had to go to Tennessee.
Okay, maybe it's just a misunderstanding. What was in Tennessee?
My cousin Larry and his band were playing in a club up there, and I went along to help with the gear. I told Beaumont the day before that I had to go. He didn't make a big deal about it. Just told me to swap days off with someone. Wasn't my fault the guy didn't show up.
Well, it may not have been your fault, but it was your responsibility. Mr. West, I realize you haven't had a full-time job before, but last-minute trips to Tennessee and other unexcused absences aren't acceptable to employers. They depend on you to get their work done, and when you don't show up, it affects the entire organization.
Man, I hate that stupid job. It's a waste of my time.
I can see how you'd feel that way, Mr. West, but you just have to see it as a first step to future success. I just want to help you and see if we can find some way to improve your situation. What bothers you about your current job?
It's just so boring. I just cut grass and stuff all day. Drives me nuts doing the same thing over and over.
Well, what do other people in the Parks Department do?
I don't know. I don't see nobody else. Well, some people fix the equipment and work on the trucks.
Well, let me suggest something. Sometimes our work takes on greater importance if we can see how it fits into the big picture. If it's all right with you, I'd like to call Mr. Beaumont today and ask him if he can meet you early tomorrow and explain the Parks Department and all the different jobs people do there. Maybe you can tour the facilities and see how things work, maybe talk to some folks in other jobs, see if there are more interesting jobs there that you could work up to. Are you willing to do that?
Sure, I guess so.
Who knows, Mr. West? If you can be a reliable employee for Mr. Beaumont, you might get promoted out of cutting grass and into something a little more interesting. How does that sound?
Sounds okay to me.
All right then. What can you do to help get things back on the right track with Mr. Beaumont?
Well, I guess I could apologize and start showing up on time.
Great. Let's make those into goals then. But let's do it a step at a time. I know you remember from other goals we've worked on that it's important to give yourself a timeline and break large goals down into smaller, doable steps, right? So which one do you think you want to work on first?
Well, I'd probably better apologize first.
Right, good choice. And what's your timeline?
Best if I go ahead and get it over with right away. Say tomorrow?
Okay, how do you think you'll go about it?
Well, maybe I'll go in a few minutes early and try to talk to him. Tell him I'm sorry about being late. He won't be seeing me late anymore.
Okay, great. How about that goal, not being late? What will it take for you to be on time?
Set my mind to it mostly.
Well, you're right there. It is important to set your mind to your goals, but what about the action steps that help you move from wanting to be on time into actually being on time?
Set my alarm clock earlier, getting gas on the way home instead of on the way to work, that kind of thing.
Okay, excellent plan. And what's your timeline for this?
Well, I need to be on time from now on.
Right again. And how about as a first step, create the goal of being on time every day for the rest of this week, and I'll plan on calling you on Friday and see how you did. And then we'll do it again the following week, and by then it'll be a habit. Being on time will just be part of your routine.
Janetta had a difficult challenge in her interview with Mr. West. She had to resolve an absentee complaint from his employer and at the same time tried to keep him motivated to stay productive and responsible. Janetta opened the discussion by staying close to the facts and allowing Mr. West an opportunity to explain himself. As the conversation progressed, Janetta took Mr. West's objections and turned them into positives. She asked him to imagine an alternative to his current situation and helped him formulate his own plan of action. Janetta reinforced her client's plan of action through the use of goal setting by identifying doable action steps and helping answer 3 key questions. 1. What is it that I want to accomplish? 2. What must I do to get there? And 3. How will I do the task to achieve my goal?